It's finally Friday. It's been a long week at work. You don't feel like making dinner. Let's see what we've got in the fridge. Okay, let's see what we've got here that can come together pretty quickly. Got some onion. That'll work. Part of a tomato. This mac and cheese that I made a couple nights ago on video, I'll link that video below, but that'll work. What else we have down here? Oh, some ground beef. You know what I'm thinking? Hamburger helper. Okay, this is one of those quick and easy meals that you can throw together with things that you have in your fridge. So I've got about a half a pound of raw ground beef here that I'll fry up in a pan. Some baby bella mushrooms. I've got this macaroni and cheese that's left over from a previous video, link below. About a half of a tomato, some onion, a little bit of shredded cheese, and to give us the sauce around what is a hamburger mac or a hamburger helper, some chicken broth. I might throw in maybe some pepper, like a green bell pepper or something like that, just to give it a little more flavor and some color. But I'm thinking this will come together in about 15 minutes. So I've prepped my vegetables to go into what will become hamburger mac. And I've also cut some broccoli that I'm going to just steam, and I'll have that as a side dish to the hamburger mac just to give some more green to the plate. So the first thing I want to do is just get my hamburger starting to brown in the pan. My ground beef is just about ready. I'm going to go ahead and throw in my peppers and onions to let those start sauteing. Shortly behind that, I will put in the mushrooms, but I want to get these a head start. Once these have had a chance to come down a little bit, saute down, I will also add a little bit of jarred garlic, rather than cutting my own tonight. Meanwhile, over here, on low heat, I've got my broccoli with some water in the bottom, so I just want to steam this broccoli to tender. So it looks like my peppers and onions are just starting to soften, so I'm going to go ahead and go in with a nice heaping tablespoon or teaspoon of jarred garlic. And now that the garlic's had a chance to start to simmer in there, I'll go ahead and put in my mushrooms. Give this a few minutes to continue to saute all of this together. Okay, at this point I'm going to go ahead in with my tomato. That should help give it that hamburger helper-esque sauciness. A little bit of red, not only from the raw tomato, but just the sauce that will be created when the tomato cooks down a little bit. And at this stage, I'm going to go ahead and hit this with a nice shot of salt and some black pepper. And let those flavors marry. You can see that my broccoli is steaming. I'm really not looking for anything but a nice tender broccoli to put on the side of this. What will be a pretty heavy dish with the hamburger macaroni. So that'll lighten it up a little bit. Not that there's a lot of need to deglaze at this point, but I am going to put in that was probably about, I don't know, a half a cup of chicken broth. and maybe a cup of this leftover mac and cheese. Maybe a little more than that. Cup and a half, maybe. And I'm going to put a cover on this and let the liquid and the steam start to melt that cheese that's holding the macaroni together, and then it will become one dish. So once this has steamed for a bit and had a chance to absorb some of the steam or the water into this broccoli, I'm going to go ahead and dump off the remaining water out of here. I don't want this to be waterlogged. And I'll lower the heat a bit on this and put in about a tablespoon of butter. Just a little bit of salt, give it some flavor, and let that come together. So I went ahead and added the other portion of that mac and cheese that you saw. No sense being judicious at this point. So that's, what was that? Probably about 2 cups of mac and cheese, pre-made mac and cheese. I'm going to go ahead and just put in my little bit of leftover cheddar cheese. That'll help thicken this a little bit. I could add some more cheese to make this even thicker, but there was plenty in that mac and cheese. And so now I just want to allow this to simmer and thicken to where I want it. So I'll actually pull the heat up a little bit, or push it up a little bit, and let this simmer and thicken. My broccoli is ready. Tossed with a little bit of butter. Tossed onto my stovetop, but a little bit of butter, and I'll let the remaining water of that evaporate off, and we are getting very close to having dinner. This is starting to come together, but because I'm impatient and I want to eat tonight, I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of cornstarch slurry to this. That'll help this thicken quite a bit and give us that consistency I'm looking for. You can see it already taking effect. Oops. I am just a bit messy tonight. And again. Topped with cheese and placed in a 375-degree oven. Topped with a little bit of parsley from the leftovers in the fridge to the family dinner table. A delicious hamburger mac casserole. I'll let this cool down just a little bit. I'll plate it up with some broccoli. And until next time on Dad's Diner and the Fab Pharaoh 5 Kitchen, order up!